The film opens with an elite French task force on a high-stakes mission in Kosovo. Their objective: capture a notorious war criminal. The team splits into two units, one attacking from the ground, the other setting up an aerial ambush. Once the target is secured, he is immediately transported via fighter jet to the command center for legal processing. Meanwhile, in Afghanistan, journalist Elsa is in the village of Kabul, interviewing a woman named Maina. Maina shares her heartbreaking story, how her family died under mysterious circumstances when she was a child, and how she was later sold to Ahmed Zaif, a ruthless Taliban leader. But just as the interview unfolds, Zaif and his men catch them in the act. With no time to think, Elsa and Maina make a run for it. Elsa, alongside her colleague Aymen, almost escapes, but the Taliban quickly capture them. News of their kidnapping reaches the French government, triggering an emergency meeting. The situation is dire. After weighing the risks, Le Président de la République orders a top-secret rescue mission, deploying an elite joint task force to save Elsa and Aymen before it's too late. The scene shifts to the French Special Forces headquarters, where we meet Kovacs, the commander of the elite forces, and Lucas, one of his key team members. While spending time with his family, Kovacs receives a call from his superior, Amiral Gezenek, informing him of the urgent mission. Without hesitation, Kovacs and Lucas board a Hercules transport plane bound for Afghanistan, heading straight to Wardak province. Upon arrival, the two are airlifted by helicopter to Gandamak, a location near the Afghanistan-Pakistan border. On board, they meet Elias, a highly skilled sniper from another division. These three officers will soon join the rest of the French Special Forces team stationed at Camp Gandamak, a French military base near the border. At Camp Gandamak, we get to know some of the soldiers: Victor, who hones his shooting skills daily; Tic-Tac, who bonds with local children; and Marius, a leader giving tactical orders to his squad. Soon after, the full joint task force assembles to discuss their critical mission. Kovacs lays out the plan: rescue Elsa and Amen, who are being held hostage by the Taliban, in a heavily fortified village deep inside tribal Pakistan. Meanwhile, near the Pakistan coastline, a helicopter approaches the Charles de Gaulle aircraft carrier. On board is Amiral Gezenek, arriving to oversee the mission personally. Back in France, inside the government office, Le Président de la République and top officials anxiously watch a chilling video. In it, Ahmed Zaif interrogates Elsa and prepares to torture her. To send a brutal message, he executes one of his own informants, right in front of her. Elsa is horrified but powerless. Determined to prevent another French citizen from falling victim to the Taliban, Le Président gives a final order: launch the mission immediately. The elite forces now have one goal: bring Elsa and Aymen home, no matter the cost. And with that, the rescue operation begins. The elite joint task force is swiftly deployed aboard a Hercules aircraft, heading straight into enemy territory, deep within Ahmed Zaif's Taliban-controlled region. Upon arrival, Kovacs and his team parachute into Pakistan's remote areas, landing safely and gearing up for their high-risk mission. Meanwhile, a Pakistani intelligence agent is shadowing Malukin, a spiritual leader tied to the Taliban. But Malukin, aware that he's being followed, crafts a clever deception. While his lookalike exits in one direction, the real Malukin sneaks away to meet Ahmed Zaif, who has been expecting him. Their meeting is tense. Malukin is furious. He reprimands Zaif for not executing Elsa immediately and instead choosing to kill his own informant first. In his eyes, Westerners are the true enemy, and Elsa should have been the first to die. After delivering his demand, Malukin departs, leaving Zaif to decide Elsa's fate. Back on the ground, Kovacs and his team have identified the Taliban stronghold where Elsa and Aymen are being held hostage. But there's a problem: it's heavily fortified. As they conduct surveillance, they witness a horrifying scene: Taliban forces preparing to execute prisoners, including Maina, the woman Elsa was interviewing before her capture. Elias, the sniper, is furious. He asks Kovacs for permission to intervene and save them, but Kovacs refuses. Their mission is clear: rescue Elsa and Aymen, nothing more. With heavy hearts, they watch as the executions unfold, unable to interfere. Once the area is clear of threats, Kovacs gives the green light. The rescue mission begins. Elias takes position as a sniper, scanning the site from an elevated position. He quickly identifies Elsa and Aymen's location and relays the intel. Moving fast, Kovacs and his team infiltrate the building, securing the captives and preparing to evacuate. But just as they're about to leave, Elias sends a warning: the Taliban know they're here. As alarms blare, Ahmed Zaif rushes to the scene, stunned to find his fortress under attack. His men confirm that the French Special Forces have infiltrated the camp, sending him into a rage. He immediately orders his forces to hunt down Kovacs' team and prevent their escape at all costs. With Elsa and Aymen in tow, Kovacs leads his team into the rugged Rocky Mountains, hoping to reach their extraction point. But as they pause to regroup, Tic-Tac delivers bad news. Their communication device was damaged during the shootout, cutting them off from backup. To make matters worse, Taliban scouts spot two helicopters attempting to land for their extraction, exposing their location. With the enemy closing in, Lucas checks the pickup coordinates and makes a grim realization: the original extraction point is too open, making them easy targets. Kovacs has no choice. He orders an emergency signal to be sent, requesting a new extraction zone 20 miles away. As they adjust course, they spot Amen being chased by Ahmed Zaif himself. Not willing to leave anyone behind, the team launches a fierce counterattack, engaging in an intense firefight to protect their teammate. As the battle rages, Tic Tac's emergency signal finally reaches Amiral Gezenek, who immediately approves the relocated extraction point. But the situation takes a dangerous turn. The evacuation helicopters are ambushed by Taliban forces. One of the choppers is shot down, forcing the crew into an emergency landing. Meanwhile, back in France, Le Président de la République receives word the rescue has failed and the team is still in danger. As night falls, Kovacs and his soldiers take cover, exhausted but aware that Ahmed Zaif's men are still hunting them. The mission isn't over yet. The real fight for survival has just begun. As night falls, Lucas and Victor take turns standing guard, while the rest of the team grabs some much-needed rest. The next morning, their second day on the run, the team keeps moving, knowing full well that Taliban forces are still tracking them. During a brief break, Kovacs pulls out his compass, carefully plotting their next move. He explains that their best chance of survival is to follow the river toward Afghanistan, beyond the mountains. Meanwhile, on the aircraft carrier, Amiral Gezenek is growing increasingly anxious. The Special Forces team has been out of contact ever since Kovacs's communication device was destroyed. He orders fighter jets to scan the mountainous region, desperately trying to locate them. On the ground, Kovacs and his team use camouflage to stay hidden, aware that the Taliban know the terrain better and could ambush them at any moment. By the third day, the team takes a short break, but Elias spots trouble. Ahmed Zaif and his men are closing in. With no time to escape, they have no choice but to fight. The battle is brutal, but thanks to Kovacs's leadership, the Special Forces push back Zaif's troops. Enraged by the retreat, Zaif lashes out. He executes one of his own men, before demanding his forces continue the relentless hunt. On day 4, Amiral Gezenek, now deeply regretting sending Kovacs's team into a death trap, steps up the search efforts. He deploys 2 helicopters to scan the mountains, desperate for any sign of them. Meanwhile, Kovacs and his team come across a small village, where they receive a warm welcome from the locals. It's a much-needed moment of relief, but the peace is short-lived. Suddenly, a Taliban sniper fires from the distance. Marius is hit. The team immediately tracks down and eliminates the sniper, but it's too late. Marius doesn't survive. Heartbroken, the team lays him to rest, mourning the loss of their comrade. Victor asks Amen to offer a prayer, hoping Marius will find peace. By day 5, Ahmed Zaif's forces storm the village, hunting for Kovacs and his team. As Tic Tac spots the incoming enemy, Amen makes a sudden decision. He runs back toward the village, telling Kovacs to continue the escape without him. Victor, Tic Tac, and Elias refuse to leave him behind, despite Lucas's protests. Seeing the division, Kovacs makes a call. He orders Lucas to stay with Elsa in the mountains, while the rest head back to face Zaif and his men. At the village, Zaif shows no mercy. He executes the village chief on the spot, then commands his men to wipe out the remaining villagers. Kovacs and his team launch a counterattack, seeking revenge not just for Marius, but now for the innocent villagers as well. During the chaos, tragedy strikes again. Ahmed Zaif guns down Amen from behind. Elias watches in horror as his friend falls, his rage boiling over. Elsewhere, Victor is hit while saving villagers, but Lucas arrives just in time to pull him to safety. Despite their efforts, the Taliban forces are overwhelming. Kovacs realizes they have no choice but to retreat. The team pulls back, but Elias refuses to leave. He volunteers to stay behind, covering their escape. As they flee, Victor, now badly wounded, receives medical care from Elsa and Tic Tac. When they break the news of Amen's death, the mood is somber. Victor asks about Elias, but Kovacs's response is grim. Elias isn't coming back. Meanwhile, Elias leads the Taliban fighters away, ensuring his team gets the precious time they need. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's making the ultimate sacrifice. Alone, outnumbered, but determined to give his brothers a chance at survival, Elias fights to the bitter end. At nearly 4,000 meters above sea level, the bitter cold and relentless snow make every step a struggle. Kovacs and his team push forward, but Victor is weak and losing hope. Fearing he won't survive, he begs Kovacs to leave him behind, but Kovacs refuses. Meanwhile, on the other side of the mountain, Elias is still running for his life, trying to escape Ahmed Zaif's forces. Exhausted, he finally reaches a point where he can't run anymore. With nowhere left to go, he prepares to make his final stand. By day 6, Kovacs and his team are buried in snow, huddled together as they try to shield Victor from the freezing cold. His painful groans echo through the silence of the mountains, but there's little they can do. The brutal weather refuses to let up. By By day 7, things take a devastating turn. Kovacs, Elsa, and Lucas wake up to find Victor gone. He didn't make it through the night. His lifeless body rests against a rock beside Tic Tac. With heavy hearts, the team buries him there in the snowy mountains. No time to grieve, survival is the priority. The 4 remaining members push forward, determined to escape the Taliban's reach. The next few days are pure endurance. On day 8, Kovacs, Lucas, Elsa, and Tic Tac continue their brutal journey through the mountains. The cold is relentless, and the snow keeps falling. At one point, Elsa collapses from exhaustion. Lucas, refusing to leave her behind, carries her to keep them moving. They tie themselves together with ropes. Losing each other in this terrain would mean certain death. By day 9, Kovacs takes over carrying Elsa, and the storm finally clears. A small victory, but the fight isn't over. They spot a river, a crucial landmark leading toward Afghanistan. Elsa regains some strength, but she still needs help to keep going. Their bodies are deteriorating. Every step is harder than the last. Then, disaster strikes. The Taliban ambushes them. Gunfire erupts. Elsa runs, but Ahmed Zaif is right behind her. Lucas and Tic Tac are caught in the crossfire. Both are shot. Kovacs fights with everything he has, eliminating Zaif's men one by one. But when the dust settles, he turns to his team and realizes the heartbreaking truth. Lucas is mortally wounded. There's nothing they can do. Only 3 of them remain. With heavy hearts, they bury Lucas, covering his grave with stones. Kovacs mourns the loss of his teammate, but there's no time to stop. Surprisingly, 2 Taliban members appear, not to fight, but to pay respects to Lucas. Then they vanish. By day 10, Kovacs, Elsa, and an injured Tic Tac press forward. The Taliban is no longer chasing them, but the battle isn't over. Tic Tac checks their location and estimates they're only to hours from their destination. Kovacs suggests taking a shortcut, hoping to reach safety faster. Big mistake. A rock slide crashes down, leaving Kovacs with a severe leg injury. Now both Kovacs and Tic Tac are unable to walk. They have no choice. Elsa has to go alone. Kovacs hands her a compass, while Tic Tac gives her a weapon for protection. With no other options, Elsa sets off on her own, leaving them behind. That night, a rainstorm hits, but she keeps going. By day 11, her body starts shutting down. Dehydrated and weak, she collapses. Then, on day 12, a miracle. Elsa is found alive at a French airbase in Afghanistan. The French government urges her to return to Paris, but she refuses. Not without Kovacs and Tic Tac. Amir Al-Ghazenek soon arrives, and together with Elsa, they launch a full-scale rescue mission. 2 helicopters, French Special Forces, and one last hope. As they fly over the mountains, Elsa directs them to Kovacs and Tic Tac's exact location. The air is thick with tension. Then, they see them. Relief, sadness. They're finally saved. After 12 days of brutal survival, endless suffering, and heartbreaking loss, the nightmare is over.